I finally got a computer in 2020, like August, maybe July, and instantly found Valorant.
Welcome everyone to the ConcordXp podcast. This is the 9th episode with Andrew, aka Zevzi. He is our Valorant player and he is duelist, right, for now? Duelist,
I literally play
initiator.
everything. I literally play everything.
So like a flex of something.
Mainly IGL of the team.
Okay. He has been with us for about a year now. So if you just want to, just like kind of tell us a little bit about, your Valorant career, or just like your esports career, kind of like what led you to at this moment. So I think you said you started first on COD, right?
Yeah, so I've been playing video games my entire life. Started out with Madden when I was a kid, and I just play that all the time, which I do play Madden here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yep, he's also on the Madden team.
Played Madden my entire life, always loved it. Moved into Call of Duty and like GTA, just normal like young teenager games.
Mm-hmm.
Which not really young teenager games, but it is what it is.
Around that demographic. The main demographic of those games are young teenagers.
Yeah, so started out with Call of Duty Black Ops 1 was the first Call of Duty I ever played.
Okay.
Very quickly caught onto the competitive nature of the game. Started competing in Black Ops 2 towards the end of it. Did not like Ghosts whatsoever. Didn't play that game. Continued playing Black Ops 2 instead. And then my main Call of Duty career took off in Advanced Warfare, where I was going under a different name, which was Neutral at that time. I had multiple different names throughout then, but Zevzi has been the longest standing one. But for a while, it was great playing COD. We were a really good team. We were beating pro teams here and there. We eventually got invited to a pretty big tournament. I ended up not being old enough. I was 15, and I believe you needed to be 16 with a parent's
permission.
Parents' permission to go play. So I was too young to go play, so that kind of ended my COD career. Haven't really played it seriously since then. Just played it like casually here and there, maybe play some ranked play. I finally got a computer in 2020, like August, maybe July, and instantly found Valorant. Started playing. I wasn't very good because the only type of games I played on PC before then were Minecraft. And I played PvP in Minecraft, so I had some sort of movement or the hand-eye coordination that you should have, but nowhere near any of the people I was playing against. So I placed Iron 1 when I started, and very quickly within 6 months I was immortal. So yeah, after that I just started trying to have fun with the game, continued learning the game, quickly got into the competitive scene again. I've been competing in Valorant since December 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just throughout just a bunch of smaller teams here and there. A couple of the bigger teams that I've played on were actually while I've been here at Concord. But back to how I actually got here, I ended up going through the espin.gg platform. And they set me up with Austin. Austin basically needed a player to come in the spring of 2022. Mm-hmm. And I was one of the only people that was willing to come on such short notice. I literally had 2 weeks to pack stuff for college, figure out what I was doing at college, and get here. So I committed in... Yeah, so I committed end of November. I didn't get the official sign thing. I verbally committed basically in November, physically signed by December 15th, and then we started school 3 weeks later. Mm-hmm. So it was a very, very quick turnaround. Mm-hmm. It was chaotic, very chaotic, but I loved all the players that, from what I was experiencing when I was trying out, and it seemed like they loved me, but they liked me enough. Mm-hmm. That there was a short notice. I was honestly, compared to now, I was not a good player back then. But yeah, it's been a ride to this moment. You know, losing one of your main players on your team earlier this semester, losing your IGL and your best player last semester or after last semester. I mean, we should have gone further last semester with that. There's a bunch of different stuff that should have happened, but you know, it's life.
Yeah.
Things don't always go the way it's supposed to.
Stuff happens, yeah. And you said you mentioned like AW was your first like competitive scene for Call of Duty.
Yes.
And that seems to be I noticed a lot of people that seems to be like the game where they first like started off their COD career, because I'm pretty sure that was Crooked's also his first game. I'm pretty sure it was AW for competitive in the competitive scene.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was when he started like actually like competing and like wagers and whatnot was AW. So that seems to be like the common theme with a lot of kids like in this kind of age, was like AW was like their first like I guess competitive environment of like, oh, this is what esports is all about. Like competitive AW is like our first like taste of it, and then like if we decided whether we want to continue with it, we like Andrew, we continue competing in like the COD games afterwards, like because before he joined Valorant, I mean he was one of our COD players, and he competed in like VO4 all the way up until the new Modern Warfare that just came out. So it's like so it kind of like goes, it's like a rabbit hole. Like AW seems to be like, it's like if you played it competitively in AW, it can lead you a lot of different routes. Because I knew another player who AW, I'm pretty sure was his first game, like Jamie from Mars Hill. I'm pretty sure he said Megatron. Pretty sure, could get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said AW was his first competitive COD. So if I got that wrong, apologize, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard him say at one point, was like that was his like first competitive COD was AW. So this seems to be common game for a lot of people is AW, and I guess with shooters in general, because now, I mean he still like plays COD, but I mean now he like plays like different shooters and whatnot. So it's like, I don't know. Going back to the rabbit hole comment, it is like truly like the rabbit hole of like shooters nowadays. It's like AW has like brought so many people into like the shooting scene.
Yeah, there was, in my history of playing games, I've never had more fun in a game than AW, and that's why it pulled me into the competitive scene so quickly.
Right.
Oh, actually, I did forget to mention in there somewhere, I did compete in Apex Legends on Xbox for a bit. I was Pred 1 season, Master like 4 seasons, and I stopped playing Season 5 because the game started to just go downhill. I used to have a lot of problems with breaking controllers because I didn't care so much.
Right.
No.
Get so deep into it.
Yeah, I've learned how to not do that anymore, thank God.
You just I go in there, you're like slamming your keycaps and they're just going flying in the air.
I have never done that.
Okay.
You know I never.
I know.
That's my other teammate. What do you mean?
Who we shall not name? Arthur.
Yeah, that's Arthur's fault.
Because like, oh, you wasn't even, maybe you were here. I mean, I think you probably did see some of it, but like the fall of 2021 was when we first brought Cap in the team, and yeah, that man was always slamming on his desk. You saw some of it when you came here too.
Oh yeah, you got in trouble for it.
Yeah, but
you got in trouble a lot.
But that man was slamming. I think Austin said like the bolts in that desk are like bent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if the actual like desk itself is bent.
You like look at it.
I mean, because he's strong. He's a 6'4" Brazilian man.
Slamming it with his like full strength on the desk, and that man would go crazy on that desk. And I mean, what the Overwatch used to be, you know, of course, where the Valorant is now, and we could just like hear what's going on outside. I'm like, what is happening outside of these walls right now? It's just a cab just over there, just like going crazy on that desk, and I was like, what is going on? Because we've had people in the past do that, but like not that bad. I mean, he's definitely a lot better now, but man, when he first came here, that was like, if he wanted to like get something out, his desk would be there. and his desk would be crying deep down inside because he's like, "Oh no, not again! Don't slam me!" And he's like, "Bah, bah, bah." Yeah, that's that clip I had in my workshop of him slamming his desk and the keycaps go up. That's Lily Arthur. Yeah, that I put that in there because that was literally what Arthur was doing. I don't think keycaps were flying, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they were on some of those moments.
I think one time one of the keycaps actually did come off of his keyboard. Like
I think I would not be surprised.
I don't exactly remember if it was, but I remember either he like just hit his hand with the keyboard and his hand hurt, or a keycap fell off. I don't remember, but
yeah,
that was like the first semester I was here.
Yeah, that's like with the guy. He's not hitting his desk. He's like hitting right on the keyboard, and so like the keycaps are just flying off of the screen. You can just and then he just pulls out another one, connects it, and then go play some more CS. Yeah. Yeah, Cap is an interesting person. So well, my second question, we kind of already basically answered it because I was about to say, how did you find Concord, and kind of already said that a little bit in your first answer, of saying how, Austin was like looking for someone like basically like for the next semester, and you're like the only one that was able to do that. So.
Well, it wasn't that I was the only one that was able to do it. It was the only one that the team actually, like, sort of vibed with, and even like I was a nice person. I was nice in game, and I was there to learn. And like, they only needed someone to learn. They just needed a body at that point. They just needed an extra player to play, because we had Caleb, top 100 player in North America, Arthur, Radiant, and EU, I believe. Radiant EU now. Before then he wasn't Radiant and NA, but now he's Radiant NA.
Yeah.
And then we had Liam, who was, I believe, Immortal. So, and then Hefe at that time, I believe it was. Ascendant wasn't in yet, so he
was Diamond.
He was Diamond Immortal.
Yeah, going back then he was like Diamond, going back to Immortal, back and forth. Yeah, because that was before Ascendant came out. Mm-hmm. Do you like the Ascendant change? No.
It made the game worse.
Yeah, having the
Ascendant players are worse than Diamond players.
Really?
I have more fun in Diamond games than I do Ascendant games. Because Ascendant people are like, they're like, ooh, yay, I'm above Diamond, but I'm not Immortal, so I'm not good enough to be an Immortal yet. But I have just enough of an ego where I'm not going to listen to people, and it's just like, what? Mm-hmm. Me being an IGL, it's just like I just have to shut my brain off, insta-lock Jet, and run it down every ranked game if I'm going to win one.
Yeah. Like why did they add? Like, was it to like reduce the amount of people in like Immortal?
Yep. I mean, there's 35,000 people in Immortal at one point.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because it does show your number, right?
Now there's only like 12,000.
Oh, so it did reduce it.
Yeah,
by,
they would
by
rather
half.
have 5% of people not being Immortal and have it be like the top 1%, which is where it should be.
But it does create that like limbo of Diamond and Immortal, and then you just have that like cesspool of Ascendant players. Yeah. Thinking they're ready to hit Immortal.
A lot of people are boosted also in Ascendant, but that's a very long conversation for another day.
If I go back home for summer break and I don't touch my computer at all, I'm just playing Overwatch on my PS5, I feel like when I come back in the fall semester, I feel like I'm just gonna like be adjusted to the sensitivity of a an analog stick, and I touch a mouse, I'm going like way too fast for me. That may not be the case, but I just have a fear that that's going to happen, so I just do not touch it. Like, I know I could link my account from my PS to, I think, Xbox to my PS5 and keep all my stuff, but I don't want that to happen. So that's not going to happen. I'm not going to play Overwatch over again unless it's on a computer, because I do not want to go through that whole like learning process again of like controlling, because like there's like different movements with analog sticks and whatnot. Like, so you can go like slower, because like it's just an input and like mouse and keyboard. Like, you just W forward. This you can like slowly like work your way up to like you go fast. You can go like slow. So there's like different movements in like controller, and I do not want to learn that again. So I'm gonna stay away from Overwatch on my PS5. It's tempting, but I don't want to do it because I'm just afraid.
You can do it after you graduate. If you want to, yeah.
Maybe when I graduate, maybe. but I still may stay here, whether or not I'm a master's student or whatnot, because I applied for my master's. So maybe if I'm still here as a master's student, I'm still on the Overwatch team, which I will be if I do get my master's here. I'll still be on the Overwatch team. So even then, I'm still not going to touch it. No way, absolutely no way. I don't know, but other than because I know other than like Madden, Valorant, was like Valorant like your first keyboard and mouse game? Like you said, everything else was controller.
Yeah.
Because I know COD still played with controller even to this day.
Yeah, so like I have played the new COD, and I did try controller, and it's
No.
Just no.
No.
My body is so used to keyboard and mouse at this point, 'cause I've been doing it for over 3 years, or almost 3 years, and it's just like I felt like a giraffe trying to run.
Yeah, he's so slow.
Not even slow. I just felt
Clunky.
like I didn't know what I was doing anymore.
Oh yeah.
It just felt weird.
It's
just
just
like
existing.
People complain about aim assist, but yes, if you have good aim on a controller, aim assist is bad for competitive nature. Unless everybody's using controllers, which is whatever. But you can be so much more precise on keyboard and mouse, especially if you have good hand-eye coordination. So I was like, I want to be more precise, and I played COD, and I was really good, and I was like, okay, cool. I played it, launched for a few weeks. I'm sure you saw me down here doing that a lot. I was here like 4 in the morning once, just playing COD.
Yep, I do remember that.
But yeah, I don't know. Keyboard and mouse to me is just a lot better than controller. Other than for like obviously sports games. For sports games, I will never use keyboard and mouse.
No. Yeah, like Rocket League, Madden, NBA, like.
I would not even know where to begin with Madden.
On keyboard and mouse. Probably so many different buttons and whatnot. Yeah, I think there's like racing games. Probably should stick with on controller. Rocket League controller only. Like even if you have a PC or can get by a controller, you know. I know people who have like laptops and they have like Steam and like Rocket League on it. I've never seen one person play it with a keyboard, because I know with like the Nintendo Switch is really bad with drift, and so it's like you get like the slightest drift, and it's like it's unplayable. You either know how to fix it, or you just buy new Joy-Cons again, or a controller, whatever you have. Yeah, drift is terrible. And I've noticed my PS5 controller is getting a little bit of drift as well. It's barely like noticeable, but I can notice it, and it kind of like messes me up a little bit when I'm playing like Cyberpunk.
Because then you try and overcompensate for the drift.
And then you
end up like over flicking.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And then you go back on a controller that has like this brand new no drift, and it's like you are still trying to compensate for that drift, and there's no drift, and yeah, it's just. I guess that second you notice there's drift in your controller, either just know how to like clean it out, or just buy a new one.
Or
so that way you don't get used to it.
The thing with Best Buy where you just get protection on the controller and you just go get a new controller every 6 months.
Sure. I guess you can do that.
Like $20.
But
you pay the original you pay the original $60 for the controller. And the $20 2-year warranty, and you just keep renewing the warranty every 6 months.
Well,
you just get a brand new controller.
Yeah. I guess when you live in an area like this, you have to go to Blacksburg, like an hour drive to go.
Well, doesn't GameStop have that type of?
Probably.
I mean, GameStop's literally in Princeton.
Maybe, but like if I want to do that, I'd probably go to Best Buy, honestly, over GameStop.
I'd rather drive to Blacksburg.
I mean, if it's like a trip every 6 months. Like to go like an hour to Blacksburg to get a new controller. It's like every 6 months. I
mean, when I'm back home, it's a 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
To Best Buy, so.
Yeah, and you live, what, close to Chicago?
No, I live about 2 hours south of Chicago.
You live in that like area of like urbanism, you know. Here.
I mean, the city I live in. I'm from Peoria, Illinois. It's just like.
Illinois is interesting. You just got like. Flat land or Chicago?
Yeah, my dream is probably player number 1. It's everybody's dream in esports. Probably number 2 is mental performance coach, just like Angela is for us. And other than that, probably dealing with kids and helping them manage their stress as children.
Like a counselor, I guess.
Not necessarily a counselor, more of an actual psychologist, but based around children and
esports.
teens. It can be esports, maybe not esports either.
Oh, yeah. In
just
general.
helping prevent stress. I mean, there's a experiment that I'm doing later this semester with some of the esports people here are basing like their stress levels, which can be correlated to their heart rate sometimes in game. So during like ranked games, unranked games, actual matches. So I'm doing like a study on that, and eventually that can blow up to a whole huge thing where they're like having heartbeat monitors hooked up to people, oxygen levels, all that extra stuff hooked up to people, and it could turn into revolutionizing how people think about stress in esports. And
right.
That's the main thing I want to do is I want to make my dent in esports and psychology, because I love both equally, and I think psychology goes into literally everything when it comes to your life. If you know psychology, you can apply it anywhere.
Yep. And especially with like sports, it's big in sports, and it's also really big in esports, because it's just like same as sports. It's just like a big, you got like the game that you're playing, and then also that game comes with a mental game. So it's like, and sports is the same way. You want to try to get in their heads as much as you can. So it's like, just mental health is like pretty big for esports, and definitely definitely a field that's like really important. Like for esports, it's always important to have that person that those players or anybody can always rely on, whether it's like esports related, whether it's just like their just school life or their personal life. Someone's always going to be stressed about something when they walk through those doors. So it's like it's better to keep check on them, maintain it, so that way they just don't blow up on you, and then now it's like this big situation that's like could have been preventable if someone was there to check up on them and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like what you're going into will definitely be a very sought after field, because once like more collegiate programs are like out there, because in 2019 Concord was the only one in West Virginia, and then shortly after it was like WVU Tech, and and then Marshall. So it was like a lot of, and it's like the same pattern throughout a lot of colleges, and it just takes that one university to like start it, and then people follow afterwards. So it's like throughout every year there's like new programs being started, so they're always going to be like looking for someone after eventually they get enough players, that's going to be like looking for someone like you who will be able to keep checking their players, someone that they were able to like talk to and whatnot. So it's like that is definitely going to be a field for sure that's going to be like really, really important. And also, if you could, you can also coach Valorant on the side. Like be the Valorant coach.
Depends.
If that's something.
It depends on where Valorant goes, to
right.
be honest, because I mean the thing with sports is that football's never gonna go away.
No.
Baseball's hardly ever gonna go away. Basketball's never gonna go away. But an esport can be on like this. And that's the problem. And that's why so many people are so afraid to get into esports.
And like invest into it and whatnot.
Yeah, because the game could die instantly. One person, a few different streamers say they don't want to play this game, you lose millions of people. And it's just like, now, is that going to happen with Valorant? No, because Valorant's fairly beloved by a lot of streamers. Not the community keeps being the way it is. It might get shut down on its own.
The community will do it on its own. Do it for it.
The community of Valorant is...
It's something else. I don't know. I think Valorant has the bliss of what CS has, because I think CS like competitively it's probably been around since like I think esports would you say probably like 2013 2014 was when like competitive CS started, would you say? Or what year would you say competitive CS started?
Competitive CS?
Probably like
Wasn't that before 2000? Way before 2000?
Oh, CS:GO, I should say.
Oh, CS:GO. Honestly, I've never really played CS, so I don't know too much about CS.
Because no CS launched, I'm pretty sure, I think in 2013 or 14, I'm pretty sure is when CS:GO. I should clarify CS:GO, because like CS:GO is still ongoing today, of course, and then they're about to update into its new engine. So it's like, I feel like a game that's like been almost going on for almost a decade and still going strong, like still the #1 game played on Steam, no matter what time of day you look at, like the stats. CS:GO is #1 still, or Dota. It normally flip flops, but CS:GO normally stays consistent as being like the #1 most played game on Steam. So it's like, I think Valorant will probably have like that same, because I think CS:GO is more towards like the EU like kind of community, while like Valorant is more like Asian NA type stuff.
Well, when it comes to that, is I think it's not necessarily that it's bound to a region. I think it's more bound to a certain skill base, not necessarily, because if you think about CS:GO, every single person on CS can have a flash, a smoke, and a molly. In Valorant, you only have a certain
a select few have.
Yeah, so you have to be a bit smarter in your strategy when it comes to Valorant compared to CS:GO. Yes, are some of the shooting mechanics the same? Sure. Is that why it's easy for CS:GO people to switch over? Yes. And people are saying that if Valorant's easier than CS:GO, and then a bunch of washed up CS players became like some of the best players in the world of Valorant. Tend to say one. I mean, he was signed to C9 in CS:GO. Cool. He was a good player. He was never one of the best in the world. Tens, if you know Valorant, you know Tens. And he's just a household name when it comes to Valorant. And it's just like, it's because he was finally able to focus on what he was actually having to do in every single game. And he was given an objective, not a, hey, go do this, go shoot someone and do this. It's a, hey, go dash in, create a distraction, get a kill, do this. It's like
go B, just prevent people from planning.
Yeah, it's just like, it takes a lot more planning when it comes to Valorant, and a lot more strats, and that's why, yes, coaches are decent in CS:GO, but I feel like coaches are not 100% needed in Valorant. Like, you need a coach because, again, it's, for lack of better words, 5 idiots playing a game. And if they don't know what they're all doing and they're not all in unison, they will not win consistently. So.
Right. And because there always are, and I think will always be that discussion over like which game is easier, which game is harder, CS or Val. And there's different answers. People think CS is harder. People think Val is harder. So it's like, you never truly know what the, like, I don't know. It's like you go and ask Cap, what's harder? He'll be like CS. You go,
because he grew up playing CS.
I ask you, you say Val. And so it's like, I don't know. And probably go ask Liam. Liam's probably gonna say Val. So Val's harder. So
Val takes more mental capacity,
right.
I should say. Valorant, basically, you have to think about so many different factors. You have to think about what util the other team has, what they can do with it, ultimates, all that extra stuff. In CS, all you have to think about is, where are they going to put a smoke, where are they going to put a molly, where are they going to flash, and where are they going to shoot me from? That's it. And how am I going to shoot them? That's literally all it is in CS. Yes, obviously there's other strategies going into that, and they go a bit deeper. But in Valorant, again, you have more util than you do in CS. You have abilities, you have ultimates, you have, the fact that there are inconsistent gun patterns, like gun spray patterns, inconsistency in guns in general, different economy system, all this extra stuff goes into Valorant, and people just don't understand sometimes and this is the psychology part coming out, and just, it takes more brain power, and it takes more of your mental. That's why people get more tired playing Valorant, because they have to do more. They have to think more.
CS, you can, honestly, if you're like good at aiming, you probably can just like turn off your brain. I'm just saying, as long as you have a good aim,
I mean,
you're gonna win.
You can do that in Valorant if you that good, but I feel like the skill gap between the upper and the lower is like a lot higher. I mean, because you have to put aim plus utility usage plus what you're going to do in certain situations plus game sense, all of that just together.
Right. And there's like some like cases where I see like there could be some like mechanics because like there's like I don't know what the map name is, but there's like a place where like you can get on someone's like boosting basically on someone's head in CS, and you guys run at the same time, and then you jump and you strafe onto the other side of the wall to get to A or B or whatever. So it's like there's like some instances like where you can do that, like you know, game mechanic like where you can like boost and go and strafe. But I mean that's like basically it. And it's like and like Valorant, I will give you like stuff on that. Like Valorant, yes, Valorant it takes a lot more because like you know, like only certain characters have smokes, only certain characters have flashes, only certain characters have mollies. So it's like in CS the whole team could run a molly, a smoke, a flash, and a nade. And then it's like CS, like you said, a select few. So it does take more like brain power to plan you guys' like pathing and plan like what you guys are going to be doing and like are we going to go B and we flash first, you know, just like basic stuff like that, you know. So it's like yeah, I definitely do get the arguments in both, and I guess it does depend on who grew up with what. So it's like some people like Cap who grew up on CS, who played CS before they played Val, and so they have more experience in CS, and they're going to be like, yeah, CS just takes more gun skill. You know, if you have gun skill, you know, in CS, you're going to win every game. And it's like Val, it's like if you have like good util usage, you know, good, also good gun skill, then that's also, and then like good pathing, good synergy with your team, then you can win consistently. And it's like with like in like the economy and whatnot. And it's like CS is like second round, you did like at the start of the second round, you did really well in the first round. You can buy an AK on the second round, and so it's like it just shows like the economy and like the amount of money that they give you per kill, per like defuse or plant is different in that sense. And because like you can if you like. In Val, probably like if you stay alive all 2 rounds, you can probably get like an AK, like maybe like if you like say like you win the first 3 rounds, no deaths, you got like a lot like 1 or 2 kills each round.
If you get 3 kills and plant on Jet, you can buy a Vandal and half shield. First round,
second round.
Yeah.
So it just depends on like how.
Yeah, it depends on kills because plant money is 300 kills, I believe, are 300 each as well.
Yeah, and I mean like the AK is like probably the best out of like the M4. For like the AK versus the M4, I think people think like the AK is a little bit better in terms of like accuracy and whatnot.
Yep.
So and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than the M4. The M4 I think is, I want to say 29 or 3000, and the
I don't know too much about
I know for sure the AK is 2700. So it's like relatively, it's cheaper than the M4 and it's better than the M4. So it's like normally when like you're playing CT side and you kill someone with the AK, you drop your M4 and pick up the AK so you can save it for the next round. So it's like in terms of that, like the economy is like it's also different, you know. So it's like it does really like depend, but like I would say probably like on a mechanic level and team level, I do say Val's harder because there is a lot more going on. Ultimates, you know, util, pathing, and you know, and most importantly, like making sure your team is in the right head and is in unison and not just like 5 dumb idiots, like you said, just doing their own thing. You making sure like you have 5 dumb idiots who are doing the same thing. So. Yeah, I think Val it definitely does require like a lot more skill because like I go in CS and I just kind of like turn my brain off and I can still like pop off easily, and like Val I kind of have to be like I do have to focus like probably all if not majority of the game I have to focus, and you know making sure I'm like saving money for the next round, or you know I may have to give up on my util to make sure you know I get a Vandal next round. So it's like stuff like that you do have to like pay attention to. So yeah, but is there anything you want?
So when we brought Arthur on here, we asked who his favorite character was, and he said Phoenix. But
He did say Phoenix.
He did say Phoenix, but that was a shock to us because we both thought he was going to say Chamber. But
Because we always only see him play Chamber back then.
yeah,
I did,
but
at least.
who is your favorite to play, or just like who's your favorite character in general?
Oh, that's a very hard question because I play everything. My most played agent in ranked is Jet because I'm very good with the point-click weapon, aka the operator. But the best agent where I can help my team, plus frag, plus do whatever I need to for myself is probably Astra.
Yes, I bet I do see you play a lot of Astra.
Yeah, Astra's probably one of my favorite agents to play. I have one of my highest win rates on her, highest KDs as well. She's fun. You know, if you know how to play her, she's very fun because you can do what's called a pull, where it pulls them into the center of it and gives them a vulnerable, so where they take more damage. You know, stun, where they can't shoot you straight, but for some reason it feels like they can only hit you in the head when they're stunned. They have smokes, the Astral Wall. I can't necessarily probably pick a favorite agent. The most fun, generally, is probably Astra for me. When I just want to turn my brain off and shoot, I pick Jet. Actually, no, I have a lot of fun on Breach.
On Breach?
Because I like to stun people and flash them and then knife them. It's really fun. I do that a decent amount, right?